All right, so I thought that I had a slide on here that had the ICANS, but now that I've started recording, I don't see it. So we're going to be talking about 4.7, and it's radical equations, radical being like under the square root type of thing. And so I kind of listed the steps, and those are really like your ICANS. I can isolate the radical, can eliminate the radical, I can solve, and I can check. So those are kind of your steps. And for those of you who have really been liking having just like a checklist of things you can do, like with the rational inequalities, you'll probably really like this too. So the first step is to isolate the radical, meaning you're going to ask yourself, is the radical by itself? Is there another number multiplied in front of it or added behind it? And in this case, there's nothing like touching the radical, so we don't have to worry about that. So check mark for that one. So the next step is going to be to eliminate the radical. So this is square. So to get rid of square root, I'm going to square it. If I square the right, then I need to square the left. Okay, so I'm going to write what I have, 25 equals x plus 7. And then I need to, so that was my eliminate. Okay, now I need to solve. I'm going to subtract 7, and x equals, I think it's 18. Okay, solve. The last step is to check, because you will get answers that don't work out. And I know that sounds weird, but it's like that extraneous solution thing again, where you're going to get answers that don't work. So you're going to plug it into the original, and you have to do this. And it's worth a point on your test. So 5 equals the square root of 25. 5 equals 5. Works. You checked it. Again, that's worth a point on the test. So this is like the basic one. Let's go to a harder one. Okay. So on this one, you know, our isolate step is going to be apparent because there's this 8 kind of hanging out over here, and we have to get rid of it. So I'm going to subtract 8 because I want to get that cube root by itself. So minus 4 equals the cube root of x plus 2 now. Okay, so isolate is the first step. Get it by itself. And then I'm going to cube both sides because cube undoes cube root. So now I have negative 4 cubed equals x plus 2. So remember that when you're doing this, a negative number can be cubed or cube rooted. So I get negative, let's see, I don't have a calculator, so when I do this wrong, somebody let me know. And I'm going to subtract 2 and get negative 66 as my answer. Okay, that was I didn't eliminate and solve. Now I'm going to check. So to check on this, I need to plug it back into the original equation. So 4 equals the cube root of negative 66 plus 2 plus 8 on the outside. Okay. So 4 equals the cube root of negative 64. And if I did this right, or maybe I didn't, and then I get 4 equals 4, and everybody is happy, including Miss Vote. Okay? So another not so bad one, but remember when you're getting rid of that radical, get rid of a square root, you square. Cube root, you cube. If you have a fourth root, you go to the fourth power. All right, so when you're looking at this example now, I hope you're noticing like I cannot isolate both sides. There's nothing to do. So I have to kind of cross that one off my list. I can't do it. Okay? Eliminate, though, I can square both sides and be okay. So then this side I have 6n minus 3 equals 4 plus 7n. And now I'll just solve this like a regular algebra equation. Okay, now I get an answer, so there's my solve. Now I need to check. So I'm going to put it back into the original. So the square root of 6 times negative 7 minus 3 equals the square root of 4 plus 7 times negative 7. I hope you're already seeing the problem. Because I get the square root of negative 42 minus 3 equals the square root of 4 minus 49. So I get the square root of negative 45 equals the square root of negative, I'm going to erase that and write it again because it's really sloppy. The square root of negative 45 equals the square root of negative 45. Okay, that's great. They do equal each other, but these aren't real numbers. Okay? I can't do that. This answer does not work. Okay? There is no solution. There is no letter N or letter X, whatever you want to call it, that I can plug in and get this one to work. So here's your homework. It shouldn't be too bad. When you do, I didn't say to do number 8. There will be one like it eventually. If you want to do, like, try number 8 for a challenge, you have to FOIL this one to do it. So it's a little bit tougher. You should be able to do all of these, though. These are also on Schoology. So this is the slide with my answers, and I know it's blurry, but these are also on Schoology.